Hey everybody. I don't know if you can see me, but I apologize in advance. I try to make this as bright as I can. It's hurting my eyes. Um, I just I know I haven't posted in a couple of days. It's been more than a week, and I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I f- I should be making more content. I have a lot of amazing content that I want to make. I have a lot of bangers that I want to make. Um, I'm not gonna spoil anything because obviously I plan on making them. But I just wanted to come on to here and really just be truthful to the many folks who are listening. A, I wanted to apologize for, not being um not being on my word, not being consistent like I said I would be. Like New Year's resolution, my New Year's resolution was called for, but I didn't end up like I don't know, I'm just breaking away. I'm just falling away. I'm gonna be completely honest and transparent. I've been really falling away. Um, and I know deep down, like in the back of my mind, I know A, I'm sinning. The things I'm doing are wrong. I know B, I need to continue to, I need to get back up. I need to get back up and restore my relationship with the Lord. I mean, like I'm not saying like I'm too far gone. Like within these like past days, I have been picking up my Bible and reading when I felt that strong motivation to, um even if I didn't feel like it physically, mentally, I still chose to read, which I'm proud of myself for that. I'm happy about that. But recently I don't know. I've been struggling a lot. At the end of the day, I feel like I'm probably going to come back to this way later, and this is probably part of my testimony as I'm speaking. But now that I'm living it right now, it's hard. It's difficult to actually come by. I'm drowning in my trials. I feel like God sent me something. He gave me a test, and just, I feel like I have been passing the test. It wasn't necessarily because I was worried about, if I would pass or not. At first, I was trusting in God and relying on Jesus, knowing that in no matter what temptation or sin comes to me, none of it's stronger than Jesus. So I heavily relied on him. But uh recently I felt like I was like straying away, just leaving the presence of God. And I really deep down in my whole body feels it. Like it's an agonizing fright, it's an agonizing fear of God, it's an agonizing terror, because God was still he still holds me accountable of my sins. I'm still guilty of my sins. And yes, I mean, I know that's very controversial, and that's very hypocritical for me to say, I fear God, but then why do I sin? But deep down, solely in general, I'm afraid of God. I'm afraid of letting him down. I'm afraid of, rejection. I mean, of course, anyone would be afraid of getting rejected by God, but um, I'm really just afraid of letting him down. Like, I know I'm not perfect and I can't fulfill everything, but I'm afraid of, letting God down. And I feel like recently, um, maybe it was the fact that I feel like I was trying to get a perfect score, and nobody can really do that. Like, when I read reading about David and Solomon, or Solomon, I understood their struggles. And I also understood that, they were great figures in history. God chose them specifically to be two very great kings. But even in all their royalty, all their greatness, all their power, all their glory, they still struggled and they still needed to run back to God no matter what. David was so great. I read this one post that said David struck down Goliath but lost to Bathsheba, and then something about like sorry, I don't really remember it, but it was saying that sometimes that like it may not even be like it's not just the physical aspect of it, because yeah, Goliath was physically way bigger than David, but like spiritually that wasn't his biggest problem. Bathsheba, it's not always the giants who are gonna take you down. It could be somebody that's bigger than you and you still defeat them, but somebody like per se man or deceitful, especially deceitful man or woman, that can drag you down. And I really do pray and hope that that doesn't happen to any of you guys, especially me, because I know that especially where I am now, I'll be honest, I'm lonely. I'm alone. Physically, I'm alone. I do not have anybody. I don't have a spouse. I don't have a girlfriend. And I mean, I'm going to be clear. I'm content with that. Like, I know I'm not ready for a relationship. I know that right now is the best time for me to be getting close to God. And I'm happy about that. I'm glad that God is allowing me to grow and mature, because then that, that molds me into that man that's ready for that woman. And the same thing that he's molding that woman that's ready for me. So again, I'm not complaining about it, but I will admit that at the end of the day, I'm still alone. And sometimes it does affect me, um, especially when it comes to the grounds of sinning. Sexual desire is a God-given thing. Like, the desire for sex is really something truly of God. You desire, because truly my intentions is I desire to have sex with a woman, not only like so we can like get more intimate, spiritually intimate, it's something that God made. It's a special thing. It's beautiful. But, also so that I can have children. I want to have children. I want to be a father, just like my father was and his father before, or just like my father is and his dad as well. But then Satan, the enemy, comes and perverts that image. So then what he does is that he perverts that image, that um instead he'll turn it into something like masturbation, or sexual immorality, or even fornication, because sex is supposed to be saved for marriage. Yet again, he'll have you, Satan will have you through your sin, especially because you chose to do it. You'll go out and sleep with a woman before you even get married, or even if that is your woman, you'll go and sleep with her before you get married to her. And then that, you're broken, and that causes a lot of repairing. um and to be honest, I've been slipping into a lot of sexual morality, a lot of pornography, and I know that it's not good for my brain. It's not good for you. And to be honest, I'll admit it right here. It is, guys. I have an addiction. I know I may lie to myself and say that I don't have an addiction, because the temptation to that sin doesn't really hit me. Like on the weekdays, I'm fine. But then when it gets to the weekend, that's when I start lacking. I really wish that I could do better on the weekends, staying connected to God, because I really feel like on the school days, when I'm going to school, um, I'm so busy and I'm so caught up in work. So I'm being distracted. And What was I gonna say? So that like distracts me from that temptation. But on top of that, I'm also focusing on God. Like I read my Bible during lunch, and I have like an academic flex class, which is basically just a filler class. They have you fill it in because I don't I'm like ahead of my credits in high school. So they just have to give me an extra class just because, to fill in my schedule. So I don't really do anything in there. I mean, really I make up my work most of the time. Almost all the time I'm like doing work that needs to be done. And then, I'll spend time reading the Bible or just free time on my phone and stuff like that. Um, but what was I gonna say? I'm sorry, I'm getting so lost. I feel like the devil's trying to hold back my tongue because I really feel like God is, you know, calling me to do this because I needed to get this off my chest. And it's better to be honest with you all because you are my fans and I don't want to lie. Like, you are my viewers. You're my community. I consider you all family. You are all brothers and sisters in Christ. And again, thank you all so much, guys, for your support. I really do appreciate it so much. You have no idea. It makes me happy just to even see my subscriber count go up by one, or just to get one like on my video, one comment even. It I don't know. I'm content with it. And even if nothing happens, I'm like, you know what? Just make another video because I have a lot of ideas in mind, and I just want to get them out and share them with you all. But again, it's better to be honest and transparent with you all. I don't want to lie. I don't want to be lying to you all behind your back because that's deceitful. And like, I'm growing a family on my account. I'm growing a community on my account. And it'd be wrong if I were to just disrespect my community in any way, shape, or form. So again, yeah, I wouldn't want to do that to any of you guys. So here I am now. So yeah, I've been, to sum it all up, I've been falling a lot recently. And again, that pervertedness um of that sexual desire hits because the truth is, the real truth behind it, the scary truth is what I definitely it's not, I'm not really afraid. I'll be honest, it has been racking my nerves just a tiny bit from time to time because it's like if I continue down this rabbit hole, down this path, I know it's something that could happen, and then I know that it's gonna get so bad. The thing is, God can send you a woman, and the devil can send you a woman, and I don't want the devil to send me a woman, but if I continue to whine and complain, if that occasion arises, then eventually one day I might end up, you know, praying without guarding my mouth. I might pray unprotectively, and the devil the devil hears you, the devil listens. So he's he's very smart, and I'm not gonna lie, that has brung me. And I understand. I understand that the devil is not greater than Jesus, and with Jesus, Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But that did bring me down a lot, realizing how much, like, the devil is capable of doing many things, to be honest. And of course, it's nothing you should fear, but then when he's attacking my life, and it's like, dang, bro, like, it's just so, I feel like I'm being weighed down. I feel like there's just so much stress, anxiety piling up on me, and it just becomes too much, to the point where I don't even know what to do anymore. And I'll tell you now. I'll tell you now. Let me advise you all right now. I am not that type of, I don't want this video to get taken down, so I have to find the most family friendly way to say this as possible. I'm not the type of guy to, say, I don't want to do this anymore, or I can't live like this anymore. That type of scenario. Um like, I don't that like that's like opting out. that's like you playing the game with your friend, or and you feel like that other team is too much for you, so you just back out. And like you leave your friend in the server, in the game, or you're just taking too much damage and you're like, nah, I'm done, and you leave your friend. It's a cop out. It's not. What's the point in doing that? There's no, like, again, I don't find any real reason to do that. Like, I know I struggle. I know I struggle. And sometimes I do question my own existence. Like, why do I exist? Why did God create me? Most of the time it's out of curiosity, sometimes out of sadness. So I will admit that. But again, I don't really find any real reason as to why I would want to do that. So I'm not really that type of person. I know life can get hard, but again, I was created with a purpose, and so were you. So again, if you feel like that, I'm sorry that you may be going through this, but like, again, we all struggle, and the truth is, Jesus is our medicine. Jesus is our savior. So what we need to do, especially me, is run back to God, because He's waiting for all of us. He's waiting for you. He's waiting for me with open arms to to um to run back to Him, so He can, like, because we're always accepted. God just wants us to come back. I don't. I feel like this could possibly be heading to like a point in time where I end up going back. I end up reverting back to my old ways. And if that's the case, it could lead to even worse things and even worse scenarios. And I don't want that to happen again. Like, God freed me from these things, and I don't want to run back there anymore. God was literally freeing me from these things that I'm choosing to run back into. I like, um, when I was on like a video streak, when I was making videos like back to back just recently, actually, that was when I was really the most Christ dependent. I was really the most Christ focused. And I really felt like God was starting to free me from the chains of lustful thoughts, the porn addiction in general, and sexual immorality. And again, speaking of these sins, like especially sexual immorality, I feel bad every time I do it, because I'm disrespecting the Holy Spirit. He literally lives within us, and like I really do, like deep down, I'm so, like, I feel so rotten about it. I'm sorry, God, I really am, because I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I choose with my sinful mind, my sinful will, that you do it anyway. And I mean, that's the case for every sin. It's that mind, that will, that thought that you're gonna sin. I really wish that, I didn't have to sin. I don't want to sin. I hate sin. And especially when I became more Christ dependent, I started to really, like, be more lenient on that. Like, I hate sin. I don't like sin. It's evil, it's destructive. It's not only bad for you, but it's bad for those around you. Sins not only affect you, but they affect the others around you. So especially when you're sin, like that, it's so bad. Sin spreads not just through like the core of you, but to the core of others. So I don't want to be, I don't want, honestly, like, I see myself going to school, like, not really like enjoying anything. I've been sleeping through my classes. I've been like having like a stink face or like an attitude. Not really, but it's just, you know, I give that face where it's like I don't want to be bothered. And I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that to my classmates. Like, this is me truly speaking from the goodness of my heart, wherever that is. But the truth is, I care for all my classmates. I care for all my peers. I don't want to do that to them. I don't want them, like, I don't want them to see me upset, because the truth is, I know that there are some people, like, in my classes. I have some friends, I have some peers that they may look up to me. They may look up to me truthfully, And it may put a smile on their face just seeing me being in that class. Like, I know for me, certain people in my classes, like, it makes me happy just to see that they're there. And then sometimes, I get that thought, like, yo, like, what if they pass away, like, and they don't come to class anymore? That's gonna be really sad. Like, for some people, I may not have known them, may not have talked to them, but like, I may not have spoken to them, but like, I know that person. Like, they're just somebody that I know. And I wouldn't want to do that to anybody. And at the end of the day, I always want to be quick to help people, especially like my classmates. If somebody's struggling with a problem, like, I'm quick, like, here, like, I'll help you. Here's the answer. Because I know I'm a fast learner. Not a lot of people are fast learners, and everybody learns at a different pace. So who can judge you? Who am I to blame anybody or judge anybody for the way they learn? But if there's something, that they're struggling with, I want to be able to help them. I want to help them, with whatever it is they're trying to do. And yeah, yet again, I don't want my classmates to like see me in a bad mood, because then not only does that affect me, that affects them. Because, like, let's say we're trying to work on something together. If I have an attitude the whole time and like I'm just frustrated, my anger could be going out towards them. It could be like seeping out, like leaking to them, like a leech. And I don't want to do that, because then not only is it affecting me, it's affecting them. I Yeah, I don't like being rude. I don't like being mean. I don't like being rude. I don't like being disruptive. I like receiving advice, especially from adults. I like helping other students, and especially, some other people, you'd be surprised to hear what they have to say. The truth is, what I truly believe is, not nobody is dumb. Some people just choose to, like, they don't really use it. They don't really choose to apply that inner strength that they have, that mental strength that they have. A lot of people could be applying themselves, they just don't. But I really feel that nobody's really dumb. Nobody is stupid. Stupid itself is a mean word. But yeah, I don't really want anybody to see me mad, or like to see me in a bad mood. Not because I don't want to be seen in a bad mood, it's just because that I know that affects them. And especially when I sin, that sin affects my mentality, especially the guilt you feel after. And then when you drown in your sins, and you drown in your guilt, um when you're drowning in your guilt like that, you're not really recovering. You're just drowning, and you're not really getting up from that. You're not getting up from that situation. So it sucks. It really does suck. And sorry. I'm losing my train of thought again. Um yeah, my sins have been affecting me. Like, they've really been affecting me mentally, and I know that's leaking into my social life, like, around people in school. I want to be as attentive as I can. I want to be as assisting as I can, as helpful as I can. I don't like to see people stuck on something. I don't like to see people hurt. It hurts me to see hurt people, because everybody hurts. The truth is, everybody hurts. Everybody's been through something. There's really a reason behind your sin, and most of it, especially for teenagers, comes from trauma. Trauma they've experienced. I've experienced my own trauma, and it it leaks into my life. And sometimes I really you wish you would never done the things that you done, of course. But it just starts to eat at you. It just starts to eat at you, and it's something that I really, everybody has that one thing that they regret. That one thing that they regret. um I really, again, not only was it that I feel like I was trying to get, like, again, a perfect score. I feel like I was trying, like, pass the test, pass the test, pass it. I feel like I started going back into that mindset instead of truly focusing on Jesus. I feel like okay, I know that we don't live, Christians, we don't live, brothers and sisters in Christ especially, we don't live for this life. We live for the life up there. We live for the heavenly life. We're sinners that are living for a righteous cause, for the sake of Jesus Christ. But what was I saying? Dang, how did I forgot what I was gonna say. My mind is just, I know I'm going all over the place, and I'm sorry. I just had a lot to say. I have a lot on my mind, and I wanted to be really truthful with you all. I know what I was saying. Again, yes, we live for Christ, but the thing is, I feel like sometimes I worry too much about, like, am I stacking my treasures in heaven? Like, where is my heart? That's not a bad thing necessarily, but I feel like I'm like focused on being overly righteous sometimes. Like I'm focusing on, like, just like by good deeds, faith by good deeds. One thing, and I feel like God taught me this like recently. I feel like God taught me this recently, and this is an important life lesson, important and valuable. I feel like God was teaching me this, like, for me to learn, like, to help me in the long run. And I feel like this is something that, like, God, thank you. I really truly appreciate this. Um, that genuine faith in Jesus comes with works, because we know that you don't get to heaven by good deeds. That's by doing just works. But faith without works is dead. And then I learned that if you have genuine faith in Jesus, your faith is going to come with works. Like, if you have genuine faith in Jesus, and, like, what would Jesus tell you to do? If somebody, like, let's create a scenario. A bully pushes somebody, like, into, like, they shove them in, like, at a locker, right? And, like, all their work falls off. Through your faith in Jesus, your desire to help, just as because remember, it's Jesus's first hand nature. It's in God's, because he's God. It's in God's nature to instantly help. I think I got this from Carew Ellington, so I'm gonna credit him for this. But I think he said this, that it's in God's nature to help. When the man with the withered hand asked Jesus to help, he was quick to help him. When the blind came to Jesus, he was quick to help him. It's in his nature to instantly help. The first thing he did was help. So again, through your faith in Jesus, learning, what would Jesus do, for it to be in our nature now to help people, you would, like, just almost like it's our secondhand nature, like almost like an instinct. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Yeah, it's almost like an instinct. Um, I gotta lay back down. It's almost like an instinct. I know I said that 3 times. Jeez, to go over to them, help them, and pick their stuff up. That's like the scenario. That's the scenario. That's my little scenario. But the point is, faith without works is dead. So naturally, works are gonna come to us through our faith. Naturally, we'll perform works through our faith. It will happen through our faith. Um, and that's just something that I learned, that God taught me as of recent. And honestly, I feel like I should be doing that more. Like, I really feel like I should be, helping people more. I should be preaching that. Like, when I started to, like, again, I'm still young, so I haven't really fully discovered myself yet, like, who I am as a person. But as I got older, especially, like, from 16 to 17, like from 10th grade to 11th grade, um I started realizing who, like, I am. Like, part of my character is to help. I love helping people. I don't know what it is. I find, like, I rejoice at the fact that I'm able to help people. I rejubilate, or I have so much jubilation, that's the word, at the fact that I can help people. I want to help people. I just realized that who I am is somebody who wants to help. That's part of me, my character. I want to help. I want to help people. Not only do I want to help people come closer to God, um, but I want to help people, learn to be content with life. As Paul said, the secret to everything is to be content in your life. I want to help um people learn to cope with life, especially when they're going through a tough situation, to let them know that no matter what situation you're going through, no matter what storm, no matter how shaky the boat gets in the storm, that you can always trust in Jesus. Don't focus on the storm, focus on God. That you can always rely on God, that He's always there to help you. So yeah, that's part of me. But again, this all is relating back to my struggles, my sins. I feel like I haven't been doing that much. I have from time to time. From time to time I do preach. I have been helping, but it's just every time I need to be more prepared when these situations come. Every time when I do something really good, or sorry, notification. Anytime I do something good, or like a good deed, or something that really could be changing hearts in a sense, Satan sees that and instantly attacks, and like he'll throw something so heavy at me, and it really becomes like I get so like, it breaks me. It honestly, like, I get so depressed from it. I get so sad from it. It really breaks me because it hurts me that, you know, not only, why is the enemy against me? Obviously, we all know why the enemy's against us. But I, I did something good, and then out of it came my evilness because I chose not to listen to God. But then I can't blame Satan. I mean, blame myself, of course, be humble and selfless, but it also was Satan's doing because he tempted me in the first place. But I chose to sin. I chose to sin to my own mind, to my own will, to my own flesh. So there that goes. But it really does just, I don't know, it hits me deep. Like, I try doing so much, and it's just, I don't know. I really wish that I could, like, maybe like I could just go a day even without sinning at all. But yet again, it's still important to repent daily of your sins regardless. Or just do better. I don't really know. I really don't know. It sometimes it just becomes too much of a struggle for me. I really don't know. I don't, and I can't say I know for sure or I remember 100% like what happened for me to get back into this sinful state. Like, and I don't know. I just hit like a big decline. Like, I started going so downhill. Like, I don't even know. I was doing so good until I think what it was Satan started tempting me to go back to something that I didn't want to return to. But then I think that was the moment that I really started to break, because then I started to have doubts. Maybe I don't want to say doubts, but maybe I started to like concern or like ponder about that situation. And I think maybe I don't think it was really like doubt, but I feel like I started to worry about the situation more than I was just focused on God. And I feel like I should have just kept my focus on God, and that wouldn't have happened yet. But again, we all make mistakes. Unfortunately, I, I ended up falling. But then it just became so much worse for me. I've been falling into sin, sexual sin especially, a lot. And the truth is, again, through my mind, through my will, I know it's something that I don't want to do. I know it's something that I don't like. Honestly, it disgusts me to even think about. like almost every single time. Like basically every single time. I don't like thinking about that. I don't want to have a perverted mind. Like again, I sex is supposed to be a good thing that God made. I don't want to have a perverted version of it in my head. I don't want to continuously have these lustful thoughts in my mind, lusting for people that aren't even meant for me, that I will have no relationship with, creating all these lustful thoughts within my head. And some like sometimes you get a lustful thought of a person just because their outward appearance, because they may appear to you as pretty, and through your selfishness and through your lustful desires, you want that person because they're pretty, and you want to have that person for yourself. And you don't even know that person, and then you end up committing adultery in your heart because of your lust in your mind. And the truth is, it really hurts. It hurts when I sin. It hurts to sin. It hurts to hurt God. And I know deep down it's not something that I want to do. Truthfully. I like my mindset, my mind, and my will, like in the back of my mind, I know that I need to run back to God. I know that I need to stay focused on God. I know that I need to keep my mind, my heart, my soul, body, will, emotion dependent on Christ. And I know that um I need to get up. Like not just physically, but like spiritually, I need to get back up. But I haven't, like, I just feel so sinful, so slothful. I'm not saying like I'm not saying like I feel too far gone that, like what's the point of going back to God? Like I know God works everything out for good. And again, all this I might even speak about in the future. This may be part of my testimony, who knows? Which is pretty cool, honestly. Um but it's just I just I've just been declining so much that it's hard to get back into that mindset, that will, that emotion. And the truth is, I know what's gonna happen if I go down this rabbit hole, if I fall down the rabbit hole. And I shouldn't have to be specific about this because it's just gonna lead into an even worse state of sin. But I know where this is going, especially the way my flesh, because I know my flesh. Like I know the way my flesh operates. I know the way it looks at things, the way it wants things, the way it's selfish. Like I've lived in this body for 17 years now. So I've started to have, better understanding of my flesh and how to, not listen to it. But, yet again, from time to time, that does get hard, especially when you're tempted in a big situation, something that's that could be really, really dangerous. But again, remember I said um, that God can give you a woman, and Satan can give you a woman. Right now, the focus of my life, well, one of the main objectives of my life, I'm not necessarily saying it as like a goal. I mean, I'm not saying that. I don't really know how to explain this in like the best way possible. But one of the aspects that is going on in my life right now, part of what's going on, especially right now where I am in my journey with God, is studying. Is I'm learning how to be a Christian boyfriend, or a Christian man that can provide for a Christian woman. I'm learning how to do these things. That was really what I was doing before I ended up falling into this deep pit. I was studying. I'm not joking to you. I can literally show you. Um, I can show you. I've literally. Sorry, I'm stuttering again. Um, in Song of Songs, or the Song of Solomon, when it's about Solomon and his wife, about love, the strength of love, the how love can be dangerous, also about intimacy, sexual intercourse, because it's, like saving sex for marriage. Um, I was studying it. Like, I'm not even joking. I literally, for, I think it was for Christmas, I think, my mom actually got me a student study Bible, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm so happy that she did. Like, it was awesome to get that. It's beautiful. And it's an amazing, it's the NIV. um um how can I not remember what NIV stands for? I think New International Version, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it stands for. Um, yeah, but it's really good. It helps me think, because the ESV book that I read, the one that I use in a lot of my videos, like I use it from the Proverbs thumbnail. Um, because some of the times, like some of the words, some of the vocabulary that's used in there may be confusing. So if I may not understand it there, some, like, I'll go to my NIV student study Bible, and I'll go to that same verse, and then I'll look at it and then understand, like, what is this verse saying. um I might actually make a video about this too. It's about studying scripture. um Basically, how there are different versions of the book, different translations. The point about that is not to focus on, like, the different words that are being spoken of. The point is to focus on the main theme of the passage, of that scripture. What is it, like, put both scriptures together and, like, get the theme out of it. Get the main point that the author of that book is trying to establish within that verse, is the point. And there's more to it, but yeah, that basically that. So where was I? I was talking about reading. Oh yeah. So yeah, I was studying Song of Solomon. I was studying the importance of love, how strong love can be. Love is as strong as death. So you have to be careful. Um Solomon's wife, the countryside woman, was saying, I adjure you, daughters of Jerusalem, I think she said, by the gazelles and does of the field, uh, do not awaken or stir up love until it pleases. Let love grow naturally. And that, again, that's why I said earlier, I'm happy with where I am now, that I'm not in a relationship. I'm content because God is maturing me and molding me into that um the God fearing man that he's created me to be. One that can actually withhold a woman, one that's suitable for a woman. So that's why I'm happy that the love is growing naturally, because I know that there's some woman out there who's specifically meant for me, and I know that she too, I don't even know if she could even be watching this, possibly. It's a possibility, but that God is also molding her too to be the woman that is meant for me. But yet again, the thing is, that could all go out the window if I choose not to follow God and choose to obey my ways. I might end up getting into and this is what I was talking about. I know what's going to happen if I continue down this rabbit hole. I'm going to continue to live in sin. I'm going to go down a deep sinful state. I'm going to end up getting with the wrong woman, and then I might end up, you know, which is very bad to say nonetheless. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I want to have the woman that God has designated for me. So that's why I said that it is a bit of a, like, concern for me, because I'm worried about ending up with the wrong woman. I don't want to end up with the wrong woman. And I know if I continue to live to continue in these sinful patterns, to walk down this sinful path, that might end up happening. And I don't want that to happen. God forbid that that happens. I am a bit afraid of that because I'm afraid of letting God down, especially because he was literally teaching me. He was giving me practice on how to become this God-fearing man. And I don't want to what's the word? I don't want to continuously disobey him. Like, the thing for me is when sometimes I may fall into sin hard, and it may not just be a 1-2 thing. It may be like I may even fall into sin straight for a week straight. It could be even the same sin simultaneously. Maybe even I may even commit that sin more than once per day. But the thing is, it gets to a point where like I know, like I've had enough. I've had enough of the sin. Like it's too much. And I end up running back to God. It's almost like it's like a um what's the word for it? It's like a reflex, I guess I can say. It's just like a reflex for me to come back to God, to come back to the Lord. And I just run back. And it's not, again, I I I can't say anything about me because sometimes my faith staggers, but I truly do hope that God sees my faith as genuine. I really do hope that he sees my faith as genuine because, again, this is only coming from me, but when I come back to God, it's not because when I come back to God, it's not because I'm running back to him to play the safe game. No, it's that, um, what's the word? Sorry, guys, I'm having trouble thinking. Yeah, it's not to play the safe game. It's truly because, like, I feel, have regret. I have regret for my sins. I feel sorry that I've sinned. And I don't want to commit these sins anymore. Like, and I want to run back to God. I want to restore my relationship with him. I don't want to continue to fall down a bad path, even after I fell so many times. For the righteous man falls 7 times and gets back up, but the wicked stumble in times of calamity. I do repent to God out of the sincerity of my heart, out of the genuinity, I think that's the word, out of the sincereness of my heart, like with deep sorrow, regret, and guilt. Like I know I shouldn't have done that. Like God, I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I don't want to do it again. And like sometimes I'll cry. Sometimes I'll just get, in that, it's the fear of the Lord. I get in that state of shock. Like, God, like, please don't be mad at me. Please don't be upset with your servant. Like, I know I mess up, but please don't be upset with me. Please don't be angry with me. And I get afraid. It's like, let's say my dad had, like, I don't know, let's say my dad had a vase, right? And he used it for flowers. And yes, fathers can have flowers too. Let's say my dad had a vase for flowers. I'm running around and I break it, and like, cause I tell my dad, like, I'm sorry, I truly didn't mean it, but I'm still afraid because I don't want him to be mad at me, like, in that case. So yeah, I really feel deep regret, deep shame, deep guilt. Like I'm like, I feel so bad that I did that. Like, God, I'm sorry. I really am. But not only that, not only forget those sins. I've also been I've been really, really lazy recently. And I can't use I no longer like I don't have the right to use it's winter as my excuse for storing up so much more body. To be honest, I've been gaining weight. I've been putting my weight up. With my muscle, when I work out, my average peak is 118. And yeah, because I'm small, but then a lot of it is converted into muscle. And I'm pretty sure I have like on average maybe like 12 to 10% body fat, which apparently is really like that's pretty bad for me because I'm small, but that's because a lot of my body is just pure muscle most of the time, almost all of the time. I've only ever really gotten to into this like this chubbiness state a couple of times. Like me personally, and again, I'm not coming after anybody because we all get to that point, especially where it's just you just lay back, you're too lazy, you're too tired to do anything. But me personally, I don't like having extra weight on my body. I don't. It's disgusting. Before I continue that though, I weighed myself and I was 121. So yes, it is only 3 pounds. I only gained 3 pounds. But my problem is I can see it happening. Like I don't like the way that it happens and I can see it happening. And I also admit, I will also admit right now that I can from time to time tend to be insecure about my body. And I I honestly I'm going to be completely honest. I really don't know why because I just about every single day have a good, like physically healthy body. So I don't understand like why it comes down to that. Um, and it's really weird because when I every like almost every day when I go to school, I'm always wearing a sweater and jogging pants. And I usually most of the time I want them to be baggy and I always have my coat over it. Mainly because it's winter, but I cover myself a lot because the truth is, before I got to this state where I now it's just I feel like just flesh and bones. Um I had like I had a good physique and I don't like showing off I'm not a show off. I don't like showing off my body to people. So um like I like to cover my body because um I don't want people to see me for that. I don't want people to see me for outward appearance. And but then on top of that, I still have my face. And I I'll be honest. I'll be honest about this. I get a lot of looks, and it's looks that I don't want. You don't know me. I don't know you. We never even talked yet. So why are you staring? Why are you staring at me? Some people have a staring problem. Um, and yeah, I usually try to like veil myself so that people don't see me for the outward appearance. I want people to see me for who I am on the inside. And I did a good thing by doing that because a lot of people really only yeah, a lot of people like know that like okay, I have a good body. But they don't really see me for that. They see me for me, and that's what I want people to see me for. And again, I'm not boasting because again, like do you see that? That is fat that I've gained right there. And again, my I talked to my mom about this and I tell her about the weight gain and she'd be like, you know, she hysterically gets, upset with me because I'm over here complaining about my fat, but like she doesn't really see any of the fat. But the truth is, you're your worst judge. So again, I'm gonna be the one that's, saying these things. So, well, about my body. But yeah, usually I'm never really like this. But I know my body. I know when I'm getting bigger. I know when I'm getting smaller. And what I don't like, especially, I don't like facial fat. I hate facial fat. I don't like fat on, I don't like fat on my cheeks when you look chubby, or, you know, it's just, I don't like it. I don't really like having any fat at all. But I mean, of course, we're gonna have a natural body fat. But I hate, I hate gaining. I hate, like, I'm not gonna say gaining weight, because as you get older, you get bigger. So of course you're gonna gain weight. I don't like gaining fat. I don't like gaining obesity. Not really obesity, but yeah, I don't like gaining extra pounds that I don't need. And again, why would I have any reason to be insecure about that? I feel like maybe it could be because I always want, like, maybe I have like this self-conscious thing around, like, like, in society. But that doesn't make any sense either, because I don't really show my body. Maybe I'm just worried about always having a good physique all of the time, that I'm not, really worried about doing, treating my body properly, doing what's right for me. Because the thing is, I'm always like, I catch myself a lot of the time. I'll catch myself fighting to maintain my weight, but that's because I'm not like maintaining a most of the time it's because I'm not maintaining a proper or healthy balanced diet. And I need to be doing that more. A lot of the time I don't really eat, and I need to be eating a lot of suitable meals to help me. Yet again, I don't really know why I'm insecure, but I do know that I do have those insecurities about my body. And 100% why, I don't know. I don't really know. Like, I don't understand, because I'm short. Like, I'm really short. But I don't care about my height. I don't care if I'm short. Like, I know I'm gonna grow up short. I'm gonna die short. Like, I don't care about my height, but I don't understand what it is about my body. Like, I really don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, speaking about that anyway, yeah, I've been really lazy these past couple of days. I've been gaining a lot of weight. Like, my stomach always feels, now my stomach isn't even a stomach. My stomach isn't even an or abs. It's just tummy. That's what my stomach is now. It's a tummy. Like, it's not, again, I'm not I haven't really gone too far down. I only gained 3 pounds, but my fat goes to places that I don't like. And I know I need to get out of this. I need to leave that behind me and trust in God, because I told myself this earlier, like, I really just need to, you believe that God is going to help you get back to where you need to be. Like, I truly believe that God is gonna help me um rehabilitate myself. Sometimes it's just hard for me to actually act. I need to be able to have that mindset to act upon it, because if I don't, eventually I'm gonna end up falling down a steep rabbit hole, and I don't know how I'm gonna get back up. And I really don't want that to happen, because I also feel like if I do this, I'm gonna be stuck in so much sin, and who knows, I might not even post content on my channel anymore. or like for that time being. And I don't want to do that. I have so many great videos that I want to share with you all, and I don't want that to happen. But yeah, I've been also very, very lazy. I haven't really been doing anything. Like I'm literally sitting on my bed. But I am glad that I I'm doing this now. I'm glad that I'm having this conversation with you all. And I'm glad that I'm talking to you all about this. I do need help. I need prayers. I need that support. I need a people that are going to help me. Realistically, most of the time I'm doing this by myself. And I know a lot of the reason why I sin, or a lot of the reason why I end up falling into these like habits, or the reason something bad happens, is because I chose to listen to myself. And because I don't really have people, or I'm not choosing to seek people for help, comfort, or like help, guidance, peace, security, stuff like that, I keep on thinking that I can do it by myself. But the truth is, you can't. I keep telling myself, okay, maybe if I did this, maybe if I did that, I just need to be able to do this. And you can't do it without Jesus. I've been stress eating a lot. I've been eating through pain, struggle, depression, anxiety, fear. It's really mainly it's really comfort eating. I'm being complacent, and I'm not gonna get anywhere if I'm being complacent. It's not gonna help me, and that sucks. That really sucks. I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live in a sinful lifestyle. I don't want to end up getting with a woman that wasn't meant for me in the first place. Yeah, she may be beautiful. She may have good looks. She may give me everything I need, or she may give me what I want, or be there to support me, or be there when I need her most, stuff like that. I know that's it's all placebo. It's all for Satan, just to distract me, to knock me down. The truth is, you are a threat. Believe it or not, you're a threat to Satan. Why would Satan tempt you if you're coming closer to God? Why would Satan tempt you if you chose to have this mind, will, and emotion to come forward to Christ? So then now he's going to tempt you. But I guess the important thing to remember is, especially for me right now, is that God does everything for the greater good. He does everything for his glory, and he does everything for a reason. These things are to glorify the Lord, and also to help us. God helps us in our times of need, and he'll be there for us. He will. Like, sometimes God allows Satan to tempt you. Sometimes God allows Satan to tempt you because he wants to test you. And I think you just need to understand that a little bit more. I just need to let that sink into my brain. I think I've gotten everything that I need to off my chest, explain everything I need to explain, and yeah. So, here's the truth of it, y'all. This is really the reason I haven't been posting in the last couple of days. And again, I am sorry. I really am sorry, guys. I apologize. But I love you all so much. to anybody who was watching this, anyone and everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for listening to my yap session for more than an hour. But truly, thank you to all of those who listened. And I appreciate all your guys' support. I love you all so much. I really do love you guys. You are really not just God, but you guys are also part of the reason that I want to continue making content, because you are the people that chose to tune into me. You are the people that chose to, hey, let's give this guy a shot. And you did. And I assume that I showed you that I'm somebody that's worth watching. Somebody that was worthwhile, you know? Not that I want to be, I'm saying I want to be accepted, but I'm thankful that you guys chose to support my channel. You didn't need to do it, but you chose to do it out of the love and kindness of your heart. So I thank you a lot, truly. I guess that's the video. I guess that's the video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly, I appreciate it. I love you. I love you all, really. And I pray that if you're going through this as well, just know that God is here. And I know this is something that I need to be hearing, but if it's something that you need to be hearing, know that God is here and He's going to help you. God does not promise your singleness. He does not tell you that you'll be single forever. He doesn't tell you that you'll be stuck in a sin forever. No. If the Son sets you free, then you'll be free indeed. John 8:36. Or I think it's 3 John 8:36. But yeah, that was my video. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. But take care, everyone. Peace.